you've done TV, you've done novels, you even you directed back in the '90s, Queens of the Big Time.
Mm-hmm.
So what brings you back to movies, and why this book?
All the Stars in the Heavens.
All the Stars in the Heavens.
Well, I'm kind of on a movie jag.
Okay.
A little bit of a movie jag. First of all, I think, I'm of Italian descent, and I think that in particular when you're of an immigrant extraction in America, and of particular immigrants that came at the turn of the last century, that movies are really important to us. I think for my great aunts and my great uncles and my grandmothers and grandfathers, that the movies informed a lot of what they loved about America and taught them about what cars they drove, how to set a table, what things they liked.
Different aspects of culture. That
culture, what made America fantastic, sophisticated, interesting. Those great movies with Clark Gable and Myrna Loy and
Sure.
Loretta Young, which is what my book's about, All the Stars in the Heavens. So it's all that. And then I had made a movie, an adaptation of my first novel, Big Stone Gap. And it's playing right now in Youngstown. And I want everybody to go see it because it's a beautiful movie. You can take, everybody you love to see it. It's one of those beautiful Frank Capra kind of comedies. And it's beautifully written, beautifully produced, and the studios don't make those anymore. If the character doesn't have fingers made of steak knives, those movies don't get made. So we bucked the system, we raised the money, we got it together, we have a superb cast. Anthony LaPaglia, Whoopi Goldberg, Patrick Wilson, Ashley Judd, Jenna Elfman. It's an all-star cast, and they're amazing, and the music is incredible. We have a soundtrack for the movie. The big movies don't even get that anymore. So it's really spectacular, and I want everybody to see it. And of course, Youngstown, the support here is unbelievable for my books, and beautiful event at the Lake Club tonight, beautiful at Our Lady of Mount Carmel. I love to come here. It's really lucky.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, Big Stone Gap.
Mm-hmm.
You grew up, it's about where you grew up.
That's right, in the Appalachians.
Sure,
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's kind of got that, I saw the trailer, I'll definitely go see the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of got a small town feel for it, or feel about it, tight-knit
Mm-hmm.
group. And that's kind of how this area is, the Mahoning Valley's, shot in a beer
Oh,
town,
I know, yeah.
steel mill, so it's almost right up our alley.
It sure is.
So what's been kind of the support that you've gotten from people here in the valley?
Well, for your valley, movies like Rudy or movies like Hoosiers,
Sure.
or I'm going to even say Rocky,
Yeah.
These are your popular genre films. Big Stone Gap's right in there with those movies.
Okay.
It's that kind of a family-centered, except very moving for men and women. And I would say the themes are gives you something to talk about and relate to. There's not a dry eye at the end of the movie, but I have to tell you, this is Ohio, so it's like you guys like sophisticated, you do. And when you hear a banjo, it got me worried. I thought we're going to lose them with the banjo, But you love the whole idea of the industry and the coal mining culture and the factory life and all of that that built America. The steel mills, the ironworks, the auto industry. You understand the waft and weave of what built America, and that's really what my movie's about. The volunteerism, the outdoor drama, the sports, the marching bands, all that great stuff, So you're going to relate. You'll have a view of it, and you'll have an appreciation of it. But I think the aspects of what's the Italian aspects of it, the Scots-Irish, I think you're just going to get into all of it. Well, the music in the film is it's Roseanne Cash. The movie opens on 7 Year Ache, and Barbara Allen, she does a new rendition. John Leventhal composes score. We have Ralph Stanley. We have Papa Joe Smitty. My brother Michael Trigiani did many of the songs in the soundtrack. If Birds Could Fly is on it. It's spectacular.
Is this, I'm sure you've been proud of everything that you've done, but this Big Stone Gap, it's where you grew up. You've dabbled in movies, and like you said, the importance of movies. So now you've combined one of your most successful books with the movie. directing it. So is this one of your most proud works with the movie culminating kind of and everything?
You know, I'm very thrilled with it, and I'm maybe, you know, I'm scared of pride goeth before the fall. I need, and I hope, and I pray that everyone goes to see it, because you can do all this work and no one goes to your movie. Now, I understand over at the theater right now it's packed here in Youngstown, which thrills me. We have to keep packing the theaters. The reason Hollywood doesn't make these movies is because they don't think anybody will go. And I argue the opposite of that. I have a hard time finding movies to go to. And I have girlfriends that have a hard time finding movies to go to. Couples have a hard time finding movies to go to. And granted, we stay home now. But this is a movie. Picture House distributed it. They distributed My Big Fat Greek Wedding. They have an understanding of this film that it should be seen in community. So we want people to go out, get your friends, and go to see this movie. We want you not to have the phone experience, the teeny-weeny screen experience. It's not going to be out on video on demand for a very long time. It will not come out on DVD for a very long time. It's in theaters. And that's a lot of work for us and a sacrifice in a sense, but we want you to see it on the big screen. It's important. It's really important to be with a group and see it.
Sure.
Have it a night out for a change,
yeah,
you know?
Right. Go out and see the movie, have some dinner, some drinks.
Yeah.
Do the whole
Make
thing.
a night out of it, you know?
Sure.
You know, yeah.
So, the movie's here, and then, you know, there's a lot of hoopla around it. So, talk a little bit about All the Stars in the Heavens a little bit. And you're here signing some books and everything. So, give us a quick overview. I mean, obviously, we got to buy the book and read it, but give us a quick overview.
Well, this is a really great story.
Okay.
And this is historical fiction. It's based on a true story. It is a story that I wanted to write for a very long time. I took a story that about a young actress, Loretta Young, who goes on location to make a movie, which was very rare in the early days of Hollywood in 1934. They never did it. They did it all on the back lots.
Right.
And they went to Bellingham, Washington, and a man named Bill Wellman directed it. And Clark Gable, at 34, was on the cusp of superstardom, and he was married. And they go on location in this blizzard, and Loretta Young and Clark Gable fall in love up there. And it's what happens up there and to them.
They kind of get shacked in, or like.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't want to give it. I don't want to give it away, but.
Right.
But what I wove into this was when I made the movie, I was very fascinated by all the little pieces of what goes into making a movie. The costumes, the scene painting, the props, the small pieces that make the movie a work of art. And I did a lot of research, and there were a lot of immigrants that went to Hollywood to work in the movies who did the scene painting, who did the camera work, who came up in the ranks. Our director, Frank Capra, started out as a cameraman. You know, I'm quite enamored of his films, and he deeply influences my style as a filmmaker because I love how he used real faces and real people in his movies, which is what I did with Big Stone Gap, real faces and then the movie stars, the actual actors.
Yeah.
So this book is about the journey of a young novice who's a nun. She gets kicked out of the convent. She winds up employed as the secretary to a young movie star, and it's what happens to her, to the two of them, as they come together, you know, as a boss and a secretary.
Sounds like in books and movies, there's something for everybody. There's like some romance, there's some fun, there's some action, there's a little bit of everything. Small town, big movie stuff.
I love all that. I love to mix everything up. I like the feeling of when you're home on a rainy afternoon and you watch an old movie. I like to sink into a book like that. I like a well-told story where you can't stop turning the pages. I also love beautiful images. I like to write artful descriptions. But mostly I like to tell you a good story. I don't want you to put the book down.
Right.
And I want to make it relatable. But really my job is to entertain and enchant.
Yeah.
That's really what I'm into.
Well, All right. Why here? Why now? Well, we know why now, but why the Mahoning Valley, and how have you liked it so far since you've been here?
Well, I love it here. I actually love it so much that I made the Mahoning Valley, in particular Youngstown. I've been blown away by the comeback of this area, because I'm from a place, Big Stone Gap, Virginia, that's struggling. The coal industry's dying there, and the people don't know what to do. They are, I mean, the government, it's tough. And what you see here, and I talk about this county, this area, this valley, the people, because there's a real will here to survive, and there's a will to improve. And I see it every time I come back. Now it's been, I don't know now, it's a lot of years now, maybe, I'm terrible with math, maybe 7 or 8 years, but each year that I come back, there's more happening. It's so exciting to me with your your university and your the businesses that have sprung up, the work, the jobs. There's more jobs here. This is a model for the country. It really is.
Maybe next motivation for another book.
Yeah, you never know. Well, I listen, I'm so enthusiastic about it because I have good friends here, and I love the people here. And I love the energy and the enthusiasm of the people here. And it's always a big thrill for me to come here because the people here really know how to have fun, and they want to have a great time. And so when I come here, I really kind of get to cut loose and have some fun.
Let your hair down a little bit.
I do. Such as it is, my dear friend. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I think that's about it. You covered pretty much everything. I had a long list of questions, and you nailed every one of them.
Okay, great.
Is there anything else you want to add that we?
No, except thank you for always being so gracious to me here. I love it here. I really do. I love it.